The city that never sleeps has been forced into an eerie, frost-covered slumber. A catastrophic winter storm of historic proportions, fueled by a rapid bombogenesis over the Atlantic, has paralyzed the New York metropolitan area, dumping record-breaking snow and bringing the nation's largest economy to a grinding halt. As of Tuesday morning, the National Weather Service, NWS, confirmed that 26.4 inches of snow have fallen in Central Park, marking this as one of the top 3 snow events in New York City's recorded history. With wind gusts reaching 50 miles per hour, the city is currently facing a whiteout emergency that has prompted Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Eric Adams to issue a joint state of emergency. Meteorologists had been tracking the system since it moved off the coast of the Carolinas, but few predicted the sheer velocity of its intensification. The storm underwent a process known as bombogenesis, where atmospheric pressure drops by at least 24 millibars in 24 hours, effectively creating a winter hurricane. The moisture fetch from the Atlantic was unprecedented, said senior meteorologist David Miller. You have cold Arctic air clashing with relatively warm ocean temperatures, creating a conveyor belt of heavy, wet snow. At the height of the storm, we were recording snowfall rates of 3 to 4 inches per hour. That is simply faster than any plow can clear. The Five Boroughs, usually a chaotic symphony of sirens and yellow taxis, have been transformed into a silent white wilderness. By Monday evening, the New York City Department of Sanitation, DSNY, had deployed over 2,000 plow trucks and 700 salt spreaders. Yet the sheer volume of snow has rendered many secondary roads in Queens and the Bronx impassable. Both John F. Kennedy International Airport, JFK, and LaGuardia Airport, LGA, have suspended all flight operations. Over 3,000 flights have been canceled, leaving thousands of travelers stranded in terminals or nearby hotels. The MTA has suspended all outdoor and elevated subway service. While underground lines continue to run on a limited cold weather schedule, commuters are reported waiting up to 45 minutes for trains. For the first time in years, the George Washington Bridge and the Verrazano Narrows Bridge were temporarily closed to commercial traffic due to dangerous crosswinds and black ice. As temperatures plummeted to a bone-chilling 14 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 10 degrees Celsius, with a wind chill making it feel like minus 5 degrees Fahrenheit, the city's most vulnerable populations faced a life-threatening crisis. The Department of Homeless Services declared a Code Blue emergency, a protocol that mandates no one be turned away from the shelter system and empowers the NYPD to bring individuals in from the streets for their safety. In the residential neighborhoods of Brooklyn, the storm has brought out both the best and the most difficult aspects of New York life. I spent 4 hours just trying to dig my car out, only to realize the plow had blocked me back in 10 minutes later, said Marcus Thorne, a resident of Bedford-Stuyvesant. But then, my neighbor, someone I've barely spoken to in 3 years, came out with a snowblower and helped me finish the job. That's New York. The economic impact is estimated to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Broadway theaters have dimmed their lights, canceling all performances for the second consecutive night. Public schools across all 5 boroughs moved to remote learning, though many parents reported digital snow days as power outages affected parts of Staten Island and Long Island. Wall Street, however, proved its resilience in the digital age. While the physical floor of the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, saw only a skeleton crew, global trading continued via remote servers, even as the traders themselves watched the snow pile up outside their home windows. The immediate danger is shifting from falling snow to rising ice. The NWS has issued a flash freeze warning for Wednesday morning. As the storm moves out, temperatures are expected to drop further, turning the slushy streets into sheets of jagged ice. Mayor Adams urged New Yorkers to stay off the roads. The snow might stop falling, but the danger is just beginning. Black ice is a silent killer. If you don't need to be out, stay home. Let our sanitation workers and emergency responders do their jobs. Climate scientists are quick to point out that while a single storm doesn't prove a trend, the intensity of this nor'easter fits a pattern of global weirding. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, meaning that when a cold snap does hit, the resulting precipitation is far more extreme than what the city experienced in the 20th century. New York is a coastal city at the front line of climate change, says Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a researcher at Columbia University. We are seeing more frequent extreme events. Our infrastructure, designed for 6-inch snowfalls, is being tested by 2-foot snowfalls. We have to adapt. By sunset on Tuesday, the clouds began to break over Manhattan, revealing a pristine, crystalline skyline. For a few hours, the city looked like a postcard. Central Park's Sheep Meadow was a vast, untouched white field, and the gargoyles of the Chrysler Building wore caps of snow. But as the sun dipped, the reality of the cleanup set in. Thousands of DSNY workers, the unsung heroes of the winter, will be working 12-hour shifts for the next week to haul away millions of tons of snow. New York will wake up tomorrow. It will shovel its sidewalks. It will grumble about the MTA. But it will, as always, keep moving. Meanwhile, the skyscrapers of Manhattan, usually symbols of unyielding glass and steel, were nearly swallowed by a wall of white this week, as a historic bomb cyclone slammed into the northeast. The storm, which meteorologists have dubbed Winter Storm Hernando, has transformed the world's premier financial and cultural hub into a silent, frozen landscape, bringing the city that never sleeps to its most profound standstill since the pandemic era. As of late Monday, February 23, 2026, the National Weather Service, NWS, confirmed that 15.1 inches of snow had accumulated in Central Park. While other boroughs like Staten Island and parts of Long Island saw even higher totals, some exceeding 24 inches, the impact on Manhattan's dense infrastructure has been nothing short of catastrophic. The severity of the storm caught even seasoned New Yorkers off guard. What began as a steady snowfall on Sunday evening rapidly intensified into a bomb cyclone. This rare meteorological phenomenon occurs when atmospheric pressure drops by at least 24 millibars within 24 hours, a process known as bombogenesis. By 4 a.m. on Monday, Manhattan was experiencing snowfall rates of 3 to 4 inches per hour, accompanied by hurricane-force wind gusts reaching 60 miles per hour. These conditions created near whiteout visibility, rendering navigation through the borough's famous canyons, from Wall Street to Inwood, nearly impossible. In a move reflecting the storm's lethality, Mayor Zohran Mamdani declared a local state of emergency late Sunday night. For the first time in years, a sweeping travel ban was enforced across the 5 boroughs. This is an old-school blizzard, the kind that tests the very fabric of our city, Mayor Mamdani stated during a press briefing at the New York City Emergency Management Headquarters. We have closed the streets, the bridges, and the tunnels. Unless you are an emergency responder, stay inside. Your home is the only safe place to be right now. All non-essential vehicular traffic was prohibited on Manhattan streets until noon on Monday. New York City Sanitation, DSNY, deployed over 2,600 workers and thousands of plows, but the relentless wind repeatedly drifted snow back onto cleared lanes. While the underground lines of the MTA remained operational, all outdoor and elevated tracks were suspended. In Manhattan, this meant severe delays on lines like the 1, 7, and A trains as they transitioned to above-ground segments. LaGuardia and JFK International reported nearly 3,500 flight cancellations. Thousands of travelers found themselves stranded, with many taking refuge in Manhattan hotels that were already pushed to capacity. Central Park, the green lung of Manhattan, became the epicenter for weather enthusiasts and official recording. The 15.1 inches recorded there officially landed Winter Storm Hernando in the top 20 heaviest snowfalls in New York City history, since records began in 1869. The park's iconic Bethesda Terrace and Bow Bridge were buried under drifts that reached 3 to 4 feet high in some areas. While the NWS issued stern warnings, some intrepid residents were spotted cross-country skiing down Fifth Avenue and through the park's snow-choked paths, a rare sight that highlighted the city's enduring spirit. The storm has not been without its tragedies and trials. The city issued a Code Blue alert, an emergency measure to ensure that Manhattan's homeless population was brought into the shelter system as temperatures plummeted to 14 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 10 degrees Celsius. In residential areas like the Upper West Side and Hell's Kitchen, the New York grit was on full display. Neighbors formed impromptu shoveling teams to clear the entrances of brownstones, ensuring that elderly residents could be reached by emergency services if needed. "I've lived here for 40 years, said Elena Rossi, a resident of Chelsea. "We've had snow before, but the wind this time, it sounded like a freight train coming through the avenues. You realize how small you are when nature decides to remind you who's in charge." The economic toll on Manhattan is expected to be staggering. Broadway, the heart of the world's theater industry, canceled all performances, leaving the bright lights of Times Square shining over empty, snow-drifted streets. Perhaps most significantly for the city's youth, Mayor Mamdani declared a traditional snow day for all NYC public schools. Breaking from the recent trend of shifting to remote learning during emergencies, the mayor suspended all virtual instruction. "Our children have been through enough screen time. Today, let them be kids. Let them go outside, carefully, and enjoy the magic of a Manhattan winter," he said. As the storm system finally begins to pull away toward New England, Manhattan faces a daunting recovery. The Department of Sanitation is working around the clock to clear more than 6,000 miles of city streets. However, the danger remains high as temperatures are forecast to drop further, leading to a flash freeze that could turn the remaining slush into lethal black ice. For now, Manhattan remains a kingdom of ice. The roar of the city has been replaced by the scrape of shovels and the hum of salt spreaders. It is a moment of rare, quiet beauty for the world's busiest borough, a reminder that even the most powerful city on earth can be humbled by a single winter day. Meanwhile, a powerful and slow-moving winter weather system of historic proportions has effectively brought the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to a standstill. From the urban corridors of Philadelphia to the rugged peaks of the Allegheny Mountains, a relentless bomb cyclone has blanketed the state in a thick, treacherous layer of snow and ice, prompting Governor Josh Shapiro to declare a Commonwealth-wide state of emergency. As of February 24th, 2026, official weather stations from the National Weather Service, NWS, report that some regions have seen more than 30 inches of snow, with wind chills plummeting to levels not seen in a decade. This region has become the epicenter of the storm. Accumulations in areas like Scranton and Wilkes-Barre have exceeded 28 inches. The heavy, wet nature of the snow has led to widespread tree limb failures and power outages. The state capitol is currently under nearly 20 inches of snow. Pennsylvania State University has suspended all in-person classes, a rare move that underscores the severity of the travel conditions on I-99 and US 322. While the storm began as a wintry mix, it quickly transitioned to heavy snow. The city of brotherly love is grappling with 12 to 15 inches, complicated by a layer of sleet that has turned side streets into skating rinks. The Steel City faced the brunt of the Arctic air first. While snowfall totals were slightly lower, 10 to 12 inches, the extreme cold, dipping to minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit without wind chill, has made outdoor activity life-threatening. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, PennDOT, has taken the extraordinary step of implementing Tier 4 vehicle restrictions on nearly all major interstates, including the Pennsylvania Turnpike, I-76, I-80, and I-81. Our crews are working 12-hour shifts, but when you have snowfall rates of 3 inches per hour combined with 50 miles per hour wind gusts, the visibility is zero, said PennDOT Secretary Mike Carroll. We are seeing ghost stretches of highway where cars are simply being abandoned. Please stay off the roads.